There was conflict. When democracy returned in 1998, it was almost like instantaneous response to a national political quagmire. The parties were very young. They were not really grown as organic entities, developing from somewhere to somewhere else. So these parties were like emergency contraptions designed by Nigerian progressive elite to ease the military out. So the process of building new parties, for me, had just commenced. So if you look at parties that are very, very young, parties that are not very strong, institutionally speaking, philosophically speaking, and ideologically speaking, these parties cannot, inculcate in the minds of their members those values you find in established democracies that will make their conduct acceptable and morally binding. This is another reason you have to find out why the behavior of Nigerian politicians is something not commendable at this current stage. The final point that could be worth noting: democracy is driven by three clear elements. The first are those things we call the instruments of democracy: the Constitution, some other enabling laws like the Electoral Act, etc., that will regulate behavior and conduct. The second is what we call institutions, like the National Assembly, institution of the executive governance, the judiciary, civil society, etc. The third is what we call processes. The instruments in Nigeria are defective. The Constitution is in dire need of amendment. If you strengthen the Constitution, amend it properly, it could help in regulating political behavior. Now, the Electoral Act itself has been found to be wanting, so if you have the electoral reform, which the President signaled in 2007, and which the Ways panel has now done a lot of work in terms of pushing to the National Assembly, if you do a proper electoral reform, you could discover that you can tighten those areas that deal with conduct of politicians, criminalizing electoral fraud, and setting up appropriate commissions, appropriate institutions or platforms to deal with such matters. Then the